Have you ever wondered, we were taught every formula in school except the one that truly runs life? Money. We learn how to find sine theta and cosine theta, but never learn how to find peace from our own money. And maybe that's why most people earn money but never understand it. What's the real purpose of money? Scott Pape says, money is not about numbers. It's about choices. Money is just a tool for security, freedom, and peace. But what do? We turn it into a status symbol, a happiness meter. Think about it. If your account has millions, but your heart fears what if it all goes away, are you truly rich? Barefoot night, a new beginning. One night, a barefoot night. Decide this for yourself. No phone, no laptop, just a pen, a notebook, and your dreams. That night, Scott Pape says, reconnect with your money. Write down, who am I earning money for? And if the answer is to be happy, then ask yourself again, am I really happy? Bucket's formula, the 3-part money rule. Scott Pape divides his money into 3 simple buckets. Keycap 1 blow bucket, the money you can spend guilt-free. Keycap 2 grow bucket, the money that builds your future. Investments, savings, emergency fund. Keycap 3 backstop bucket, the money that protects you in tough times. This formula is genius in its simplicity because it teaches you that every dollar has a purpose. And now, the next concept can completely transform your bank account. Split your income and everything changes. With every paycheck, split your money automatically. 60% for needs, 20% for the future, 20% for fun. Now, when your income flows directly into different accounts, you no longer need to make a budget because the system works for you. Can you imagine your salary arrives and you can take a weekend trip without guilt? That's what financial freedom in practice looks like. Superannuation, saving for your future self. Scott Pape says, if you start saving at 25, your money starts working for you by 35. It's not magic, it's compound interest. Every small step, every small investment becomes a tree. That gives shade in your future. Debt detox, the first breath of financial freedom. The first step to escaping debt is to face it. Don't run from it. Write it down. How much do you owe? Then apply the domino strategy. Pay off the smallest debts first, and the bigger ones fall automatically. Every time a debt disappears, the peace you feel will be greater than any paycheck. Relationships and money. Money works only when both people move in the same direction. Scott Pape says, financial trust is emotional trust. If you can talk about money honestly with your partner, half of life's stress disappears. Small wins matter. Every time you achieve a small financial win, like paying off your credit card completely or saving your first $100, celebrate it. These small victories are the building blocks of your confidence. Financial peace is the goal. Earning money doesn't mean winning the race. Understanding money means finding peace. Imagine your phone goes silent, and so does your mind. That's the moment Scott Pape says, now you're rich. The barefoot path forward. Every month, hold a short meeting with yourself or your family. See what's changed, what's improved. This book doesn't give you an overnight formula. It gives you steps that last a lifetime. Because true wealth is when your heart feels light, not when your pockets feel heavy. Next, we'll discover how the system can work for every Indian middle-class person, no matter how small their income is. When money becomes freedom, not fear, have you ever wondered what's the biggest fear in life? Not losing, but running out of money, of time, of courage. Scott Pape says, money problems are never just about money. At its core, it's a story of control. Either you control your money, or your money ends up controlling you. Why people stay broke, the comfort trap. We often think we stay broke because we don't earn enough. But the truth is, our behavior keeps us broke, not our income. Ever notice how expenses rise the moment your salary increases? Because we convince ourselves in the name of deserve. Now I can afford a new bike. I work so hard. I deserve a little enjoyment. That's the comfort trap. Scott writes, If you can't save on a small income, you won't save on a big one either. The line sounds simple, but it shakes you from within because it means your money problems don't start with income. They start with discipline. The barefoot date, a ritual of change. There's a beautiful concept called the barefoot date. Once a month, have a date with your partner or just yourself. No fancy dinner, no luxury, just coffee and an honest talk about your money. There are only 3 questions to discuss. Keycap 1, where did the money go last month? Keycap 2, what's the small goal for this month? Keycap 3, which small habits can be changed? This ritual doesn't just improve your finances. It strengthens your relationship too. Because now, money talk isn't a reason to fight. It's the start of teamwork. And once your mind feels clear, the next question arises. What if something goes wrong? The emergency fund, building your peace shield. When the power goes out, the generator keeps you calm. Likewise, when life stumbles, your emergency fund steadies you. Scott says, save at least $2,000, 1.5 Indian rupees lakh, just for emergencies. This money isn't for growth. It's for peace. Imagine losing your job one day, or suddenly ending up in a hospital, and knowing you already have this fund. You won't panic, you'll feel peace. That's the real insurance of the mind. A man looking at a hospital bill, smiling calmly because he was ready. Automation, the lazy person's secret to wealth. We think managing money takes effort. Scott says make it lazy. Set up 3 automatic transfers every month. Keycap 1, spend account. Keycap 2, save account. Keycap 3, smile account, for fun and freedom. When everything runs automatically, guilt and confusion both disappear. Automation doesn't take away discipline. It makes discipline possible. And that's where true freedom begins. Where you don't chase money anymore. Money moves on its own path. The power of small wins, momentum magic. Human psychology says the brain fears big changes, but thrives on small victories. Scott says, don't aim to be rich. Aim to be better this week than last week. Save just $5, 500 Indian rupees, in the first month. Next month, save $10, 1,000 Indian rupees. And by the 3rd month, when you see $30, 3,000 Indian rupees, sitting in your account, something inside clicks. This is working. That momentum becomes your addiction, a healthy one, the kind that fuels lifelong growth. If this resonates with you, pause here, because the next idea will completely shift your mindset. Avoiding the financial noise. Every day, headlines scream, market crashes, crypto collapses, recession coming. But here's the truth. If you're following the right system, none of that noise can touch you. Scott says the secret to wealth is boredom. Meaning, when your financial life starts feeling boring, you're actually winning. People who chase excitement every week end up stressed every month. Teaching kids about money the barefoot way. Scott gives his kids 3 jars. Spend, save, give. Every time they get pocket money, they divide it among those 3 jars. This teaches them happiness isn't in spending, it's in control. If every home followed this simple system, the next generation might never face financial anxiety. Insurance. Protect before you prosper. Scott says, building wealth without insurance is like driving without a seatbelt. Life insurance, health cover, and home insurance. These aren't luxuries, they're foundations. They won't make you rich, but they'll make sure your family never breaks. Earning money is important, but protecting it is essential. The Barefoot Blueprint, one-page plan. One of his most practical ideas, the one-page plan. Take a single page and write down 4 lines. Keycap 1, why am I saving? Keycap 2, my short-term goal. Keycap 3, my long-term goal. Keycap 4, which habit is holding me back? When all your financial decisions fit on one page, you gain clarity. And clarity is just another word for confidence. Money as a mirror. Scott says, your money habits are just a reflection of who you are. If you're impulsive, your spending will be impulsive. If you're grateful, your decisions will be grounded. Real wealth starts within. When your mind is calm, your money finds its order too. Imagine a day when you smile, not at your bank balance, but at your inner peace. That day will be your barefoot life, and maybe the real life too. Next, we'll explore how the principles of the Barefoot Investor can be applied to the Indian middle-class reality, where dreams and EMIs walk hand in hand. The rhythm of money, when simplicity becomes strength. People want to get rich through shortcuts, but the Barefoot Investor says the real magic lies in simplicity, the very things we consider too simple to matter. Scott Pape says, money doesn't need to be complicated. It needs to be consistent. In other words, the game isn't hard. It's just that only those who play consistently win. Most of us think money grows through some big move, like a jackpot in the stock market or a breakthrough business idea. But the Barefoot Investor says, no, real strength lies in small, repeated steps. That's the power of simplicity, the focus of this third part. Automate your life. Let your money work for you. Every month, the salary comes in and then disappears. Rent, bills, impulsive shopping. And by month's end, one question remains. Where did all the money go? Scott says, automation is not about laziness. It's about discipline. It means giving every dollar a job before it even arrives. Here's a simple system. 60% for expenses, 20% for savings, 10% for investments, 10% for fun or charity. Now make all these auto transfers happen on a fixed date every month. When money automatically flows where it should, you're free from a fatigue of constant decision-making. Earlier, every paycheck brought guilt. Now, with automation comes clarity. Here, simplicity becomes the ultimate luxury. The 3 buckets, 3 pots, 1 balance. An iconic Barefoot concept, the 3-bucket system. Keycap 1 blow bucket. Everyday spending, food, transport, little pleasures. Keycap 2 mojo bucket, your emergency fund for sickness or job loss. Keycap 3 grow bucket, your investments, the engine of future wealth. These 3 buckets are pure genius because they force you to ask one powerful question every time you spend. Which bucket does this expense belong to? That single question stops you. It makes you think. Slowly, you stop being a slave to money and start becoming its master. But after automation comes the real transformation. When you learn how to manage relationships with money, the date night, finding peace in financial conversations. Money fights destroy more relationships than infidelity ever could. Most money fights don't happen because there's too little money, but because there's too little communication. Barefoot date night means keeping one evening a month just to talk about money. No arguments, no blame, only an honest conversation. Where did we overspend? Which goal did we miss? What are we proud of this month? Scott says, it's not a financial meeting. It's a love meeting about money. Because money brings peace only when the heart is involved too. The cushion of calm, the soul of the emergency fund. Many people find the emergency fund boring, but Scott calls it the peace fund. When you have a cushion of cash, panic doesn't control you, peace does. A fund that covers 6 months of expenses. That's not just financial safety, it's mental freedom. When life wobbles, this cushion catches you. That's the silent strength that turns ordinary people into the strong ones. Once, investment caused fear. Now it brings peace. The power of routine when habit becomes wealth. Most people say, I'll start saving when I feel motivated. But motivation is unreliable. Systems are reliable. Repeating the same action on the same date every month might sound boring, but that's where the magic lies. The boring path is the richest path. Routine makes money predictable. Predictability kills stress. And when stress disappears, clarity rises, and clarity breeds wealth. The lazy investor secret, gold that cooks slowly. The most fascinating barefoot rule, be lazy but regular. Invest small, but invest every month. Index funds, SIPs, retirement accounts. They're slow cookers of wealth. Feed them time, not drama. If you want excitement, go to Vegas. If you want wealth, stay boring. Even 1,000 Indian rupees, $15, a month can create miracles over 20 years. Because compounding grows with time, not with emotion. Cutting through the noise, when everyone talks, listen to yourself. Today, the world is full of financial influencers. Everyone telling you where to invest, when to sell, what not to do. But the Barefoot Investor teaches, your best financial advisor is silence. The less external noise, the clearer your inner vision becomes. Sometimes the smartest thing to do is nothing at all. Just stay calm, observe, and stick to your plan. Debt detox, the first step to freedom. Debt doesn't just drain your wallet, it steals your sleep. Scott's golden rule, pay off your smallest debt first. Why? Because clearing a small debt gives you dopamine, a rush of victory. That feeling builds momentum. One by one, bigger debts fall too. It's a psychological snowball effect, and it works. Debt is repaid not only from your bank, but also from your peace of mind. Celebrating progress. Never undervalue yourself. Every time you save even $5 or $10, 500 to 1,000 Indian rupees, celebrate it, because it's not just a financial win, it's a mindset win. Small wins compound into freedom. Each small victory plants the seed of massive change, and celebration keeps the consistency alive. The Barefoot mindset, when money walks with you, not over you. The Barefoot Investor's true goal isn't to make you rich. It's to make you free. Free from comparison. Free from stress. Free from needing validation. Real wealth is when you no longer need to prove it. When you begin to feel peace with your money, that's when your thinking has become wealthy. Simplicity is the ultimate form of luxury. And this book reminds us, the simpler you make it, the stronger it becomes. Next, we'll dive into the freedom phase of the Barefoot Investor, where money no longer controls you. It becomes the wind beneath your wings. The freedom phase, where money becomes freedom. Have you ever wondered, does money set us free or quietly bind us? The Barefoot Investor says, real wealth is when money becomes your servant, not your master. Scott Pape says, money isn't about having more. It's about having enough to live free. In other words, true wealth is not about accumulation, it's about peace. This is the stage where the Barefoot Investor's true philosophy unfolds. Where money no longer scares you, it works for you. Seedling Keycap won the real goal, financial peace, not perfection. Most people think, I'll be free when I have millions. But the Barefoot Investor breaks that illusion. He says, freedom isn't a number, it's a feeling. Imagine this. It's the last day of the month, and for the first time, you're not anxious looking at your bills. You feel calm. You know that even if you lose your job tomorrow, you have at least a 6-month buffer fund to breathe easy. That's the root of financial peace. Small but strong. Backhand index pointing right. This phase begins when your 3-bucket system, spend, save, smile, is no longer a plan. It's your behavior. Now, you're moving beyond automation into awareness. Credit card keycap to pay yourself first, the ultimate rule. The Barefoot Investor says, every time you earn money, pay yourself first. Meaning, save and invest before you spend. Imagine if you invested 10% of your income every month. For your future self, that money becomes your silent employee, working for you 24/7. It's not a boring habit. It's your private business, and you're the CEO. This mindset is what pulls the middle class out of the financial trap and into independence. It may sound simple, even dull, but this one habit transforms you from a salaried worker into an investor. Compass Keycap 3, the emergency fund revisited. Freedom begins with calmness, and calmness begins with security. An emergency fund isn't a luxury. It's your foundation of freedom. Scott Pape says, if you don't have a buffer, you don't have freedom. Think of it as an invisible armor that protects you from financial stress. A fund that covers 3 to 6 months of expenses becomes your permission to breathe. Because when you have a buffer, panic doesn't control you. Peace does. House with garden keycap for home freedom. Your first big goal. Scott says, owning your home outright is the greatest feeling of security you can ever have. In the Barefoot philosophy, A debt-free home is the most tangible symbol of financial freedom. It doesn't need to be a mansion, just a clean, peaceful space that's fully yours, where your nights aren't haunted by EMIs, but wrapped in calm. He advises, kill your mortgage monster. Pay a little extra every month. Put every bonus straight toward the loan. Once, bonuses meant a new phone. Now, they mean new freedom, because when the weight of debt lifts, life really starts to feel lighter. Briefcase Keycap 5, the Freedom Fund, your personal money machine. Now comes the most exciting part, the Freedom Fund. This is your investment portfolio, not your retirement plan, but your liberation plan. Scott calls it planting your freedom seeds. Index funds, ETFs, compounding. These are your quiet tools that slowly build your passive income. And remember his core truth. You don't need to pick the best stock. You just need to stay consistent. It's not about thrill. It's about discipline. Your only job, automate and forget, because true freedom begins when your money works in your system, not in your mind. Speech Balloon Keycap 6, the joy of enough. The next stage of freedom is philosophical, understanding what's enough. Scott says, you can't be rich until you know what's enough for you. Everyone wants to be rich, but no one decides when to stop. The Barefoot Investor teaches you to ask before every expense or investment, will this bring me peace or just attention? Enough is where freedom lives. That one question not only frees your money, it frees your mind, because financial freedom without mental clarity is incomplete. Hot beverage Keycap 7, slow money, happy life. Scott introduces another brilliant idea. Slow money. It means growing your money slowly, steadily, and meaningfully. It protects you from the poison of the get-rich-quick mindset. He says, if you chase fast money, you'll lose both money and peace. But if you nurture slow money, you'll gain both wealth and wisdom. Imagine this visually. Vegas lights versus a slow sunrise. So next time someone tempts you with quick profits, remember, freedom comes from patience, not panic. Red Heart, Keycap 8, relationships over riches. Scott often reminds us, money can buy comfort, but relationships bring true freedom. Real financial freedom shows up when you can say no, not out of fear, but out of values. Whether it's honesty in relationships or dignity in your job, when money doesn't control your decisions, you start living honestly. That's the kind of freedom no bank balance can measure. This section deserves soft piano and warm visuals because it's about heart, not numbers. Sunrise Keycap 9, the Barefoot Date Night. Again, but deeper. Earlier, Scott talked about date night, a monthly ritual where couples discuss money openly. Now, it's no longer about budgeting. It's about bonding. Every time you sit together and talk about goals, spending, and dreams, money becomes a conversation, not a conflict. Money talk should feel like love talk, honest, calm, and hopeful. And perhaps this is where the barefoot journey finds its most beautiful rhythm. Key 10. Freedom is a journey, not the destination. The Barefoot Investor's final lesson is clear. Freedom isn't a goal, it's a daily habit. Every time you learn to say no to impulse shopping, debt, or comparison, you become a little more free. Freedom doesn't come when you have everything. It comes when you finally feel, I don't need more. Scott says, the barefoot path isn't about money. It's about meaning. And that's where his message truly resonates. Money isn't a race, it's a rhythm. And when you play it in tune, it becomes the music of freedom. Fireproof your finances, fire. Because after freedom, the most important thing is protection. If you lost your job tomorrow, could you live even 3 days without fear? Slow heartbeat sound. Scott calls it financial fire. And today, we'll learn how to protect your money from that fire. Emergency mojo, when life suddenly turns. Sometimes life flips without warning. The company shuts down, business stops, or illness suddenly enters a home. Most people panic because they don't have mojo. Scott says, emergency mojo is the oxygen tank that keeps you from drowning. In your financial world, it's the breath of security. Imagine it's the last day of the month and you realize you have an account that already holds 3 to 6 months of expenses. No tension, only calm. This Mojo account is your financial fire extinguisher. When the world is burning, it becomes your coolness. If an emergency comes today, will your Mojo stand beside you? Domino Debt System, the first taste of victory over debt. Debt, that silent poison that eats away a little freedom every month. But Scott's method is different. The domino system. First, eliminate the smallest debt. Then use that sense of victory to tackle the next bigger one. It's not just a method. It's a psychological strategy. Every small win builds a domino of confidence inside you. Imagine, when your first card is cleared, it doesn't just reduce interest, it reduces fear too. And that's the moment when money starts working for you, not against you. Barefoot Home Strategy. From EMI to freedom. Everyone needs a home, but not slavery for it. Scott says, take your EMI calmly, but don't make it prison for life. Put every bonus or tax refund straight into the loan. Earlier, bonuses meant new phones. Now they mean new freedom. Because when you build your home with your own effort, its walls aren't just bricks. They're made of peace, struggle, and self-respect. Where there is no EMI, peace sleeps beside you. Superannuation simplified, the seed that becomes a tree. It may sound boring, but it's the most beautiful part of your future. Scott calls it the silent worker, the one that works even while you sleep. Every month's small investment is like giving a gift to your future self every day. Every small seed that grows into a tree over time. Automate this investment and then forget it, because compound interest remembers, even if you forget. Barefoot Date Night. Talk peace, not money. In every relationship, money conversations are the hardest. But the Barefoot rule is simple. Money talk should feel like love talk. Honest, calm, and hopeful. Imagine a cozy cafe corner, the sound of light rain, two people smiling over tea, talking about their goals. This isn't just budgeting, it's bonding. When transparency enters a relationship, insecurity disappears on its own. Little barefoot steps, a wise start for kids. Scott says, the sweetest money lessons begin at home. Imagine a child putting coins into 3 jars. Spend, save, give. Slowly, the child learns that money isn't just for spending, it's for understanding too. This small ritual by parents shapes the financial DNA of the next generation. A child who learns to give becomes the richest person of all. Balance before more, when enough is the greatest wealth. Today, everyone is chasing more. But Scott says sometimes the biggest growth step is to stop. Imagine you're running on a treadmill and suddenly decide, enough. You slow down, breathe, and start seeing life again. Enough is where freedom lives. Because that $1 today could become your greatest safety tomorrow. Money isn't something to make fast. It's something to handle calmly. Final reflection. First free yourself, then build walls. This part teaches that after freedom, protection is essential. Because a free person isn't the one who has a lot, but the one who can sleep without fear. And when you have mojo, control, and calm, money stops being just a number and becomes your inner peace. Because no one knows what tomorrow brings. But if you prepare today, then tomorrow you'll have peace, not fear. Financial firewalls. Protecting your money like a fortress locked. We all earn money, but have you ever wondered, where does it actually go? Some people's income flows straight into the ocean of wealth, while others lose it halfway through. Scott says, the difference lies in having financial firewalls. If your income is like a river, then firewalls are its banks, guiding it safely in the right direction. This book teaches us how to protect our money from every danger, both external and internal. Keycap one emergency firewall when life suddenly stops. This firewall is like your mojo account. It's the savings you can rely on in any emergency. Scott says, this money isn't for spending, it's for sleeping peacefully at night. That means this protection is not just financial, but mental too. If an emergency hits today, will your mojo account stand beside you? An emergency fund gives you control. It's the wall that keeps fear away. Keycap 2 Insurance Firewall, the shield that holds your family together. Many people see insurance as an expense, but the Barefoot Investor calls it a love letter to your family. This firewall works when life takes an unexpected turn. Having the right insurance, health, life, income protection, keeps your peace of mind intact. Keycap 3 Debt Firewall, the armor against financial traps. Debt isn't just a financial burden, it's a mental trap. Scott's rule is clear. Never buy something that keeps you from sleeping at night. Use the domino system to clear debts one by one. Each victory will give you new energy. Have you ever felt the joy of defeating a debt? This firewall protects your self-respect. Keycap 4 Digital Firewall, when the threat comes from beyond the screen. Today, the biggest threat to money lies in the cyber world. Scott advises, use a different password for every account. Never use public Wi-Fi for banking, and set up alerts for every transaction. This firewall protects your money from invisible thieves. Keycap 5 Relationship Firewall, the most difficult yet the most important wall. Sometimes money isn't at risk from outsiders, but from those closest to us. That's why transparency, mutual respect, and shared goals are essential, because financial trust is born from emotional trust. This firewall protects both your relationships and your finances. Keycap 6 Investment Firewall, the slow but steady wall. Investing isn't about instant results. It's about patience. Scott says, go slow, stay steady. Just like a tree takes time to grow, your investments also need time. This firewall forms the foundation of your future. Keycap 7 Lifestyle Firewall, the invisible yet strongest wall. This is the most unseen but the strongest firewall. Take a look at your expense list some evening. Ask yourself, how many of these are real needs and how many are just for show? Scott says, simple living is the root of financial strength. This firewall keeps you calm and grounded. Keycap 8 Final Thought, when walls are strong, fear fades away. Now that these financial walls surround your money, what do they truly mean? Scott says, firewalls don't just protect your money, they protect your mind. Every time you spend consciously, you add one more brick to your future. Because financial safety isn't a luxury, it's the foundation of freedom. Grow your money tree, teaching your money to work for you seedling. Money doesn't become your servant until you learn to give it the right job. Scott Pape says, most people work for money, but the wise make money work for them. This chapter is all about that magic, how money grows like a living tree. It just needs the right soil, sunlight, and a little time. Keycap won the idea of the money tree. Money grows if you give it time. Imagine if you plant a seed worth $1 every month. At first, nothing much will appear, but years later when you look back, that seed will have become a tree. Scott calls it the magic of compound growth. Small steps over a long time, that's the root of real wealth. The idea is simple, but life-changing. Anyone can become a great investor if they can make time their ally. Keycap 2 Start small, but start now. It's never too late. Scott says, money favors the starters, not the waiters. Many people think they don't have enough to invest, but the Barefoot rule is stay consistent, even if small. If you invest just $6 a month in a good index fund, in 20 years, that same seed will give you the shade you dreamed of today. Consistency matters more than perfect timing. This line is something every young person should remember. Keycap 3 Choose the right soil, where your money can take root. Every tree needs soil, and every investment needs the right place. Scott teaches us to divide our money into 3 soils. 1. Safety soil, cash or term deposits. 2. Growth soil, shares or index funds. 3. Freedom soil, the part for future dreams, like business or property. This structure gives balance to your money. Each soil has its role. One gives stability, another gives growth. Not every soil suits every seed. Find your soil. Keycap 4 Don't pull a plant every week. Don't dig up out of fear. Scott says, when markets fall, people panic and dig up their trees, and then complain, see, money doesn't grow. Patience is the fertilizer of investment. Every downfall is temporary. If your plan is strong, holding on is winning. Don't shake the tree, trust the roots. That mindset creates long-term wealth. Keycap 5, automate the growth. Teach discipline to your money. The most practical Barefoot rule, automation. Set your investments on auto debit each month. Because when money passes through your hands, temptation grows. Scott says, automation removes emotion, and emotion is money's biggest enemy. This line is for everyone who keeps failing at budgeting. Once you connect your money to a system, it starts growing on its own. Automation is your most loyal employee. Keycap 6, diversify like a forest. Grow a forest, not just a tree. Scott explains, a smart investor never depends on just one source. He plants many trees in different places. Some grow fast, some slow. This diversification protects you in every season. Even if one market falls, another stays steady. Even if one tree falls, the forest survives. That's diversification. Wealth means stability, not risk-taking. This principle keeps you calm during any crisis. Keycap 7, reinvest the fruits. Turn the fruits back into seeds. When your investments start giving returns, instead of spending them, reinvest them. That's the real secret of compound growth. Those who eat all the fruits miss out on the shade. The Barefoot Investor says, every time you reinvest profits, you're giving your future one more branch. Keycap 8, trim the tree. Sometimes you need to cut to grow. When growth becomes uncontrolled, imbalance follows. That's why you should review your portfolio every year. If one branch is taking too much risk, prune it. Move the profits to safer soil. Scott says, building wealth is like gardening. A little care, a little patience, and a little pruning. Keycap 9, protect the roots. Nourish the soil of knowledge. Knowledge is the true root. Investing isn't a one-time act. It's lifelong learning. Read, understand, and learn from your mistakes. Market knowledge is your best insurance. Every time you learn something new, you deepen the roots of your money tree. Keycap 10, harvest with gratitude. Feel the fruits. The Barefoot Investor's final message. Wealth isn't about numbers, it's about peace. When your tree bears fruit, enjoy it, but with gratitude. The wealthy aren't those who have the most, but those who feel content with less. This philosophy is the soul of the entire book. Money isn't just something to earn, it's something to live with wisdom. Sunrise final thought. Scott says, money is a seed, not a scorecard. And that's the spirit of this part. Don't just earn money, learn to grow it. Every small monthly investment, every ounce of patience, one day becomes a forest where you'll find true financial peace. The Fireproof Plan, protecting your money from crisis fire. Earning money is easy, but keeping it safe is true wisdom. One night, everything burned down, the house, the fields, the cars, but Scott still had something that didn't turn to ashes, the Fireproof Plan. Scott Pate begins this chapter with the story of a burning farm, where he watched everything vanish before his eyes. The home, the crops, the vehicles, but what survived was his Barefoot Plan. He says, when everything turned to ash, our system still stood strong. That's the essence of fireproof finance. A plan so resilient that even fire, illness, or financial storms can't bring you down. Keycap 1, build your fireproof fence. Protection first, expansion later. Just like every farm has a fence, your money also needs boundaries. Scott calls this the moat of money. This moat protects you in two ways. 1, emotional defense, stops panic decisions. 2, financial defense, shields you from sudden expenses. Money stays safe only when it's tied to your intentions, not your fears. That's why the first Barefoot rule is, protect your foundation before you chase your dreams. Keycap 2, the 3 bucket system. Give every dollar a purpose. Scott divides his money into 3 buckets. 1, blow bucket, daily expenses, food, fun, and bills. 2, mojo bucket, emergency fund for a few months of survival. 3, grow bucket, investments and long-term wealth creation. Together, these buckets create a simple structure where every dollar has a mission. When money has a purpose, it behaves. The power of the system lies in its simplicity. You'll never wonder again where your money should go. because every bucket already tells you, this is my job. Keycap 3, the Mojo account. Stay calm in the storm. Scott's most famous concept is the Mojo account. It's your personal shock absorber. The Barefoot rule: keep at least 3 to 6 months of expenses in your Mojo account. This money isn't for spending. It's for emergencies only, just like a car has an emergency brake. This is your financial safety switch. Mojo is freedom, not luxury. When the world falls apart, this fund keeps you standing tall. Keycap 4 insurance, the fireproof shield. If you're gone, what stays? Scott asks a simple but powerful question. If you weren't here tomorrow, could your family survive? Insurance isn't a luxury. It's a love letter written in numbers. Barefoot teaches that insurance must cover 2 key areas. 1, life insurance, to secure your family's life. 2, income protection, to keep cash flow steady during illness or accident. Insurance is not fear, it's love written in numbers. This mindset defines every responsible person. Keycap 5, kill the debt, not your dreams. Debt-free is the real luxury. Scott says, debt is the rat that slowly eats away at your dreams. The Barefoot way, the snowball method, pay off smaller debts first to build momentum. Every time you clear one loan, your financial confidence grows deeper roots. Interest works against you, unless you make it work for you. Being debt-free brings not just financial, but emotional freedom. And when the chains of debt break, peace returns to your relationships. Keycap 6, the Barefoot date night. Talk about money. Don't fight about it. Scott and his wife have a monthly Barefoot date night, a romantic dinner where they discuss their money, because they believe couples who talk money stay happy longer. It's a simple habit, but life-changing. It builds clarity and trust in every relationship. Try it once a month. Sit with your partner and talk honestly about spending, saving, and goals. Keycap 7, superannuation, your future self salary. Pay your older self today. Scott says, retirement isn't an age, it's a preparation. Your superannuation or pension is your future self's paycheck. Add a little each month and never touch it unless it's truly necessary. The future you is counting on the present you. That habit is your ticket to a peaceful old age. Keycap 8, keep it simple, keep it safe. Wealth comes from simplicity, not complexity. The most beautiful Barefoot lesson: keep your financial life simple. The more complicated you make it, the more anxiety you'll feel. Money grows in silence, not in chaos. Use automatic transfers, fixed goals, and fewer accounts. Fewer things, fewer worries, more peace. Keycap 9, the fire drill. Rehearse before the crisis. Every year, Scott does a fire drill, a complete checkup of his financial system. White heavy check mark is insurance updated. White heavy check mark is the emergency fund enough. White heavy check mark are passwords and wills organized. You can't control the storm, but you can prepare the house. Spend 1 hour each year on this drill. It could save your life one day. Keycap 10, the peace test, the true test of money. Scott says, the rich aren't those who earn the most, but those who sleep peacefully at night. That's the ultimate goal of the Barefoot plan, financial peace. When you know that no disaster can shake your system, that's when real freedom begins. Fireproof finance doesn't mean fear of fire. It means freedom from fear. Sunrise final thought. Scott says, wealth is not built in the bull markets. It's protected in the fire. The true power of money isn't in earning it, but in preserving it. Those who strengthen their foundation are the ones still standing after every storm. Every dollar you save is insurance for the future version of you waiting ahead. Safety is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of peace. The morning beyond darkness. Has anyone ever asked themselves, when was the last time I truly lived for myself? In the stillness of the night, when the entire city had fallen asleep, Aniket was still awake. The cool breeze coming through the window brushed against his face, yet the fire inside him refused to fade. The walls of his room now felt like a prison. Every corner, every shadow, every heartbeat echoing the sound of his failures. He slowly got up and stood in front of the mirror. In the reflection, he saw his own face. Tired, dim, yet a small, stubborn spark still flickered in his eyes. "Am I really finished?" he asked himself. The answer came. "No, you've just forgotten who you were." He sat down on the chair. The memories of the past few months began to swirl in his mind. Losing his job, drifting from friends, the taunt of family, and most of all, the hatred toward himself. He kept thinking, maybe I've been living someone else's dream, not mine. He lowered his head and closed his eyes, took a deep breath, as if trying to clear out the dust settled inside him. Suddenly, a notification popped up on his phone. Memory from 3 years ago. He opened it. On the screen was his old smile, a short video of him laughing with friends, talking about dreams without a trace of fear. For a few seconds, that moment pulled him back, like the tune of an old forgotten song playing again in his ears. A faint smile appeared on his face, but along with it, tears rolled down his cheeks. "I wish I could be who I was back then," he whispered. And then, suddenly a thought struck him. "Why can't I?" He began talking to himself, as if an inner voice was guiding him. Defeat only happens when you stop moving. When you fall and still rise again, that's the real victory. He stood up and started cleaning his room. Scattered papers, old bills, unfinished notes. As he organized each thing, it felt like he was piecing his past back together, rebuilding himself bit by bit. He opened an old diary. Inside was written, "One day, I'll do something that people will remember my name for." Reading that line changed something inside him. He decided, this story will not end here. Morning had begun to rise. Gentle sunlight streamed to the window, and the air carried a chill mix with the fragrance of hope. He made a cup of tea, took a slow sip, and looked at the sky outside. From today, I'll start again. That entire day, he didn't call anyone or speak to anyone. He just spent time with himself. He read his old notes, made some new plans, and in between the silences, thought quietly, maybe life makes us fall again and again, so that we can learn a new path each time. By evening, he wrote the first line in his new diary, "I'm learning to live again." Slowly, the rhythm of his days began to change. He started waking up early, walking in the park, watching people, finding peace in someone's smile, seeing his past in someone's exhaustion. Every day, he tried to learn something new, sometimes from books, sometimes from people in the streets. One day, he met a small boy flying a kite. The kite soared high into the sky, then fell, then rose again. Aniket smiled and asked, "Aren't you afraid of falling again and again?" The boy replied, "If I never fall, how will I learn to fly?" That answer sank deep into Aniket's heart. He realized that real courage isn't in flying high, but in holding the string again after every fall. From that day, his entire outlook changed. He began giving himself a new chance every single day. He no longer felt ashamed of his mistakes. He turned them into his strength. Sometimes at night, fear still visited him. But now he would listen to it, understand it, and quietly say, "Thank you, you remind me that I'm still alive." Slowly, the sound of a heartbeat fades, then rises again. A few weeks later, he started a journal, Project Reborn. Every day, he wrote his feelings, noted his progress. Gradually, he began to feel a shift inside him. He was no longer living through others' eyes, but through his own truth. One morning, he saw the same mirror, the one in front of which he once hated himself. Now, there was peace on his face. He said softly, "Now I look like myself again." Days went by. He stopped caring about his old job and started a small online project, something that gave him peace, even if it didn't pay much. He worked day and night, but now even the exhaustion felt good because he was walking his own path. Gradually, his project began gaining recognition. People started listening to him, sharing his thoughts. A few months later, in an interview, someone asked, "How did you make such a huge change in your life?" He smiled and said, "I just stopped fighting myself and started understanding myself." That day, when he stepped off the stage, someone from the crowd shouted, "Sir, your story changed my life." That moment felt nothing short of a miracle for Aniket. Once he had thought his story was over, Today, he had become someone else's beginning. That night, when he came home, he sat by the window, sipped the same tea, and looked up at the sky. The stars shone brighter than ever. He whispered, "Thank you, life, you broke me, only to help me rebuild myself." The breeze slowly moved through the room. The lights were off, but the moonlight falling through the window lit up his face. There was peace now, the kind that only comes when a person finally forgives themselves. He smiled. Now he was Aniket, whole with all his imperfections. The dawn beyond darkness. When the city's noise fades at night, that's when some lives truly begin. Aniket was one of those people, but this time he wasn't alone. His story had already lit up someone else's night. Now, that same man stood on stage, a soft beam of light behind him, and a crowd in front whose eyes shimmered with hope. He took a deep breath and said, "I didn't come here to show you my weaknesses. I came to show you the path I built for myself. If I can do it, you can too. All it takes is the courage to rise." The atmosphere shifted instantly. Some eyes welled up, some hands trembled. Aniket opened his journal, the first page of Project Reborn. He read aloud, "I am learning to live again." Then he said, these weren't just words. They were daily practice. Waking up every morning, doing one small thing, and sleeping with honesty at night, that's what brings transformation. Here, he revealed one of the greatest principles of human psychology, the power of small wins. He asked, "How many small victories have you ignored so far?" When no one replied, he continued, "Start small, read for 1 hour, clear an old paper, forgive a friend." Small steps build habits, and habits shape destiny. Then he spoke about fear, the fear of failure and rejection. "The greatest weapon of fear is to stop you," he said. "But fear teaches too. Learn to befriend it. Each time you face fear, you grow stronger." His speech was practical, yet deeply emotional. He spoke about emergency jars, automatic transfers, and debt snowball habits, but added, "These tools don't change your money. They change your belief, and belief changes behavior." Then he guided the crowd through an exercise. "Now, take 60 seconds. Think of someone who made you feel small. Now find 3 reasons to forgive them, for your freedom, for your relationships, and for your peace of mind." A voice rose from the crowd. "I'm doing it." Aniket smiled and said, "See, courage is contagious." He continued, "Each of you will change one small thing today. Someone will start a diary. Someone will open their first emergency fund. Someone will finally speak the truth." These were simple, actionable steps designed to trigger dopamine and build commitment. He shared real stories. A mother who started working again, a student who began studying daily, an old man who rebuilt broken relationships. They were social proof, evidence that change is possible. Then he asked for 3 promises from the crowd. First, do at least one small act each day that reduces your anxiety. Second, set aside a small part of your income every month in a safe account. Third, forgive someone or make peace. And with a firm tone, he said, "If you don't do these 3 things, tonight will be wasted." That statement built accountability. Finally, he said, "Life isn't about trophies. It's about meaning. Identity is built by action. Now go and do one small thing. Help 10 people." He placed the microphone down and mentioned the cards distributed earlier. Today's action cards with a QR code. Scanning it opened a 30-day challenge. Daily micro tasks, community support, and a personal tracker. It was the perfect blend of technology and psychology, making commitment easier. Then he repeated softly, "Rise. Now." People stood up, tears in some eyes, determination on others' faces. As they exited, they scanned the cards and accepted the first task. Many came to hug Aniket and said, "Thank you." The stage emptied. Lights dimmed. Aniket walked outside, looked up at the sky, and whispered, "This story isn't over, it's just beginning." His steps felt lighter. He was tired, but at peace. He finally understood that true victory lies in lighting up others' lives. And you, if you're still reading, this is your moment. Stand up right now. Take your first step. Scan the QR code on your phone, or open your journal and write, "Today, I will do one small thing." This isn't just a speech. It's a structured call to action. Once you scan the QR, you'll find a 30-day roadmap, daily 10 to 20-minute tasks, weekly reflection prompts, and a community forum where you can share your small wins. Psychology says that when progress is made public, accountability builds, and success follows. Each task will be simple. Day 1, one tiny emergency transfer. Day 2, one honest truth in your diary. Day 3, a message of forgiveness. Day 4, read for 10 minutes. These micro actions strengthen your belief, and belief drives action. If you feel you can't do it alone, you don't have to. The community walks with you. People share, grow, and inspire one another. This isn't a lonely struggle. It's a collective rise. Tonight, take one small step, no matter how tiny. Scan the card, accept the first task, and send one message to someone. I'm changing. When these small steps combine, they'll create something extraordinary. Like Aniket, you too can become someone's light. Don't wait for the right time. Start now and rewrite your story today.